Have you ever wondered what a pro mix session looks like? Well, for years, so did I. In today's video, we're gonna do exactly that because we have songwriter, producer, mix engineer, and my friend Alan Potiker in my studio, and we're gonna go in his mix session inside Logic Pro to go over the song Give and Take, which is my latest single featuring AJ Perdomo from The Dangerous Summer.
Let's get nerdy.
Let's go. All right, we are inside Al's Logic Pro session for Give and Take. Al, do you want to just kick this off? Like, is there anything you want to talk about before we dive into this?
No, like the process that I use for basically all the work that I do is I'll have a demo or I'll have like your rough idea, like your mix.
Yep.
And then I'll listen to that all the way through. I'll have a pen and a paper and I'm literally just like recording or like writing down my first thoughts.
Okay.
So I listen to yours first, that's what I do.
Yeah.
And then I kind of like think, what does this track need? And I remember, can I play a bit of yours?
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah. So I sent Al my demo, I guess. I asked you to mix it and I sent you the demo, and obviously you're a songwriter.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like one of the first things you do, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So take us through your process.
Yeah, so like I literally listened through your mix. So like, here's yours. And I'm listening through it. I'll like skip around. And I know AJ's voice. I know The Dangerous Summer. I'll get to the hook.
This is the first mix, I think?
Yeah.
Okay. Did this have the outro or no?
I can't remember.
Okay, I want to talk about that after.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is the one that you chopped out sections.
Okay, so I did make the outro. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so my first gut, when I listen to that, I'm like, I hear the chorus and I hear his vocal in the chorus and it's like raw. It sounds like his voice is like bleeding. He's like pushing really hard. It's super emotional, right? Like it's very like...
Yeah, that's how he sings too.
Yeah,
He's super emotional.
Dude, he's amazing. So I think, okay, the track, I want to like hype the track up. I want to make the guitars and the bass and the drums feel that kind of like energy and like passion, you know what I mean? So like, I feel like the guitars could be like dirtier and like grosser to like match that like dirtiness, and the bass and the drums. And I already know like every person that mixes songs has like a style, and that's what you're basically paying for. If you go to like Chris Lord Alge, you want that like early 2000s rock sound, mid-range focused. If you want like a new, modern, bigger bottom rock that has like hip hop influence, it might be like Adam Hawkins, or like Serban is like if you want like a nice pop balance. And like, I am nowhere at their level, but like my taste in music is like, I like loud, I like punchy drums.
Yeah.
And I like, in pop punk, I like a little more bottom than like most people might. So I just know that's my taste. So I want to like pump this track up, make it louder. I want to make it jump out of the speakers and like match the energy of his hook vocal.
Yeah, and like one of the reasons why I asked Al, well, because he's a friend of mine, but lately, like recently, how long have you been working with Gang for?
Like a year.
A year.
Yeah.
So Al's been working on the Gang stuff, and it's been phenomenal. And the first thing that I listened to, like when you sent me the track on Spotify, it just like basically punches you in the face, like you were saying. And so that's kind of like why I asked you, because like obviously my mix wasn't doing that, and that's what you brought to the mix. So
yeah, and there's like, in my opinion, mixing, a lot of it like is the songwriting. It's the how you perform the parts. It's not just the mix. So like think if you have a song that's like, I mean, it's easy to get big energy. If you have a song that's like ballady, it's hard to make it like obvious instant energy, you know what I mean? And so like when I hear the hook vocal in this song, I'm like, okay, that's got a lot of just instant energy, and like I can pump the track up a little bit.
Yeah, and even through our text conversations before we even like sent you the track, that was like the one thing that you were saying is like, make sure you get all your parts down.
Yes,
like,
I know.
Get it right.
I was on you.
Yeah, you were on me, man.
Yeah,
which is great because you know there's a lot of videos, and there's a lot of people that you could do a lot in editing post, but I think you were really good at reminding me this. And like my friend Doug Fury, who also mixes records, he's always on me as well about just getting it right at the source, which is the most important thing, right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's dive into like the intro.
Okay, let me just mute that.
Your intro.
Okay, here we go. Okay, can I stop it? Can I show you something?
Sure, yeah.
So like originally on this reference mix,
yeah,
listen to the first downbeat of the song. There was no kick. So you went snare, 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 kick, snare.
Yeah.
But I'm like picturing it from like if I was watching them play, it would be like snare and kick to give that one the impact.
Okay.
So like
I didn't have that. See, I didn't even know what I did there.
Okay. So like I have the luxury of having drum MIDI.
Yeah.
So like I was like changing parts. I added this kick.
Okay. And I didn't have that.
No.
Okay, just play the drum parts here.
Okay.
Let's just solo the drums. Did you add the one every time? Did I not have that?
Yeah, you didn't have that.
Okay.
Yeah.
And could you just show like what are you using for drums here?
Okay, so this is you were using
Easy Drummer 3.
Easy Drummer 3. I was using Easy Drummer 2.
Okay.
Man, I'm
it's the
like,
same thing, right?
Yeah, like
so you have the pop punk mix as well, or pack, which is like a John Feldman pack.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. What drums are you using on here? Like what?
Just the basic.
Just
whatever.
the basic. Yeah.
It's like literally pop punk preset.
Okay.
Like I would obviously prefer to have real drums. Like that's the best. But like if you're not gonna go to a good studio and have a good drummer and have you're first off, that's probably $1,000 day to like hire a drummer and to like go to a studio like that and have an engineer and all that stuff. And for me, if you were like, my drummer is a 7 out of 10 and the studio we went to is a 7 out of 10. And I would just be like, dude, just use a VST.
Yeah.
But
like use an E-kit and then like kind of like send it out to like a plugin like this. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
And like I went through and arranged all the fills and stuff.
Yeah.
And like you can see here, like just tried to like humanize it.
Yeah.
Gently get things off the grid. But I mean, it's pop punk and it's like rock. It's pretty like nowadays that modern sound is pretty gridded. Like it or not, it's
cool.
Yeah.
And just while we're on the drums here, can you just like go through like what are you doing for like your mix moves for drums?
Okay.
Like do you have a drum bus? Like what do you do?
Yeah. So for me, I am pretty for drums, I'm pretty like top down. Do you know what top down is? Okay, so like I like to go to the drum bus. I'll get the levels like kind of like where I want it, and then I'll go to the drum bus and start making moves there. And that's why like I like the drums to sound cohesive, like you're in a room listening to a drum kit. Sometimes when you start like, okay, I'm gonna crank the EQ on the toms, and then I'm gonna compress the crap out of the kick, and then I'm gonna do this to this, all of a sudden it starts sounding like a bunch of little pieces.
Yeah.
So sometimes, especially like when you're doing real drums, I'll like to like work on the whole, try and craft the whole sound so it's like a cohesive thing. Think if you had like an acoustic guitar and you had like a mic on every string, think of like a drum in a drum kit, and you're like, okay, the E string, I'm gonna crank the top end, and then the A string, I'm gonna like compress the crap out of it. It starts sounding like unnatural.
Yeah.
Whereas if you like had a mic, you could treat it all together, then it sounds like a guitar in a room.
So you basically treat it as one instrument.
That's why I like to think of it that way. Cool. And then I'll go in, I'll like work on the drum bus first.
Yeah.
And then I'll go into the individual tracks and like maybe gate things a little bit to like just do like little moves.
Cool.
But like you'll see like on a lot of the individual tracks, it's like pretty minimal.
Yeah. Can we see your drum bus? Like what plugins are you on your drum bus? And then you can just solo the drums and see what you're doing here.
Okay, and like I'm gonna probably get crucified for this, but like I'm pretty heavy on the buses, but like everything is doing pretty small moves. So like here's the drum bus with nothing on it. Okay, so first I have this OTT plugin.
Yeah. What's that?
It's by X for Sound. It's like just like a multi-band compressor.
Okay.
It's just like, it's a very modern sounding thing. If sometimes if I want just some juice out of it, I need some life, I'll just like try it. It's got one knob that I use. I literally just like bring up this depth knob, and it, again, this is a pretty small move, but I'll flick it on and off.
Yeah, very subtle.
Yeah. But it also, like, I feel like it brings out the transients a little bit, and I can hear a little more click on like the transients. Then I'm distorting it with the capitator. This is like totally industry standard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And again, I know we're like getting a little more level out of it. I haven't like level matched it perfectly, but it's adding a little bit of distortion.
Yeah.
Then I'm like using this almost as like a limiter, like just taking off the peaks.
Yeah.
And that I find like by time you're at the end of your song and you want it really loud, if you like limit some of the individual tracks and you limit the bus a little bit, and then you limit another bus, and then you get to your stereo bus. You don't have to like crank the limiting.
Yeah.
Because if you like try and grab a limiter and just bang like 10, like just knock off 10 dBs, it sounds like super unnatural and just pumpy and junk. So if you do it in stages, it can let your track be loud. And like this track is loud as hell. Like like
it just goes for it.
It's loud.
Yes.
And that, again, I'm just like thinking about the demo. Like it just needs more hype. So like I'm trying to exaggerate all these moves. Then I got an EQ, obviously like, so if you see something after the limiter, I'm usually like, I've made a mix. I listen to it in my headphones on my car. I listen to it in a few spots and I'm like, oh, I wish the kick and the snare, like this is probably the snare frequency. This is probably like where the kick is living. So I just wanted a little more bottom.
Okay. Now where do you, a lot of people probably have a spot, but where do you listen to your mixes after you're done? Like like a mix, where do you listen to them?
Yeah, like I first in my studio, I have those Yamaha, whatever, 8-inch powered ones.
Yeah.
HS8s or whatever they're called. And then I listen to them in my AirPods, in my car, and that's pretty much it.
The car test?
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude, and I'll like...
I like listening to mine in my truck too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm like a psycho too. I'll like make this like reference track. I'll like take a chorus of my song, and then I'll have all my like other reference music on my computer. I'll like take 30 seconds of my song, and then I'll take another 30 seconds from another song. Then I'll do 5 seconds. So I'm like
a pro, like
a
pro mix. Like, oh, I see what you're doing. So what do you listen to? What's your reference song? Who's your mix? I don't know.
Anything basically Zach Cervini. I tend to like his stuff because it's got like quite a bit of bottom compared to some pop punk, and the transients are really like heavy. And like even though the mixes are super loud, the kick and snare always like poke through.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of like cool. I like that sound.
Cool.
Okay, and like you can see this little move here, this like little EQ roll off. What that will be is like some automation. So in one section, I'll be like rolling off some top end. I could probably find it. I'm kind of
very little moves in your EQ. I'm actually surprised how little you did there, man.
Yeah.
You should see mine. I got like big dips and okay.
I know, but like there's a lot of plugins, and you can see there's tons of plugins on my stereo bus, but they're all doing like
a little thing,
just kissing it.
Cool.
Okay, so
and then what's that last plug? Oh, okay.
So I got
Hella classic.
Yeah, Verb on the drum bus. Again, look, it's 0%.
Yeah.
But when you look at the automation, so I have it coming in just in the bridge.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Like the slow part.
Yeah, exactly.
So the quiet part.
You can see it rolling up.
Yeah.
And then it rolls back down. And that's because I knew like I wanted, sometimes it's nice in the bridge to give like a new vibe to a song so that the listener isn't like, oh, okay, I've heard all these sounds. It's like, I want to make it a little more airy and like spacey.
Yeah, you did a great job with this bridge.
Cool. Cool. And the other thing is like, think when you roll up this, like when you do a knob like this, like the actual drums, like the dry drums are getting 86% quieter, or sorry, they're getting 14% quieter.
I see.
And Verb is coming in, so I didn't want that bridge to be as big, so I'm kind of killing two birds with one stone. So I'm like bringing down the volume a little bit, and I'm making them spacier, and then they come in louder and drier.
Huge at the end, yeah.
I don't know.
Cool, man. Love it.
So yeah, the MIDI is here, and like I try and go in and like make notes feel a little more human by getting them off the grid a little bit.
Yeah,
and also
and like all your velocities are like different velocities, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's cool. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, man, for the drums. If we can go back to the intro. So basically, this is like, I think you and I both like agreed on this. So we had the initial, I guess, mix. But the first mix I sent you, I had a longer intro, right? I had like just like the kick, playing the riff, like the little delay thing. And once I sent it to you, I knew you were gonna say this, but you had the same idea. You told me to cut the intro out, like the original intro. It was funny that I'm just bringing that up because like I thought like that was like a good move because I initially when I wrote the song, I wanted it to build, but with this song, we just kind of wanted to hit it right away, right?
Yeah, for sure. I always think of like, being musicians, we're so like, we think about, oh, this little guitar part, this little
Yeah.
drum part. And I often try and think of like, okay, what would my wife think if she, like,
Yes.
she's not a musician
Yeah.
and like isn't in the little tiny details. So like, what would she think? And I know she'd be like, it takes 40 seconds till the music
Dude.
starts playing. Why am I'm going to skip it.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny because like my kids now, like we listen to a lot of music, especially when we go to school in the truck or whatever, when I'm driving everywhere, but they want the vocal to come in immediately. And like that was exactly what I thought. And that's what I was thinking.
Yeah. And like, I'm not like down to like, I don't want to like wreck your artistic integrity. Oh no. Someone might have just saw a text there.
It's okay.
Ignore that.
Yeah. Well, block that out.
Yeah. It's like, I don't want to, like, if the song, if that build is like, this is critical to the song and it's a piece of my art and I love how this song is a slow build, well, who cares?
Yeah.
But I'm like, if you like want traction and you want like streams and like, if we can still do the same, get the same feeling going in a shorter amount of time, let's do that.
Cool.
Yeah. Can I show one other thing?
Yeah,
with the
sure.
drums?
Yeah, of course.
So like, this is the kick out of like,
Do you multi-track the Easy Drummer
yes.
drums? Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So like, this is just the Easy
Just a
Drummer
kick.
kick.
Yeah.
You can see all that's on there is a gate and a little and some
Oh, you
EQ.
bumped that
Yeah.
low end, hey?
Yeah, I did.
You
And then I
send
printed.
up. Oh, you have a sample. Okay.
I printed another sample.
Okay.
Okay, what I do with samples, the way that I look at it,
Yeah.
and I even did this with guitars on here, is like, okay, what is this kick missing? What is the Easy Drummer kick missing? And I'm trying to like just fill that hole with the sample. I'm not trying to like get the biggest, loudest sample.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like strategic about it. It's like, here's the Easy Drummer snare.
Yeah.
Here's the snare sample. So like, I obviously was like, okay, this, I want more ring out of it.
Yeah.
I want more like length.
What are you using for this? Is that trigger?
I use trigger.
Okay, yeah.
But then I print it all the time.
Okay, so you make your own samples?
Just because I'm a psycho about phase.
Yeah.
So like sometimes, I don't know, I just like to print it so I can like literally like hear it and make sure it's always
see.
the phase and it's always the same.
Yeah. Now, but are you those samples? Are they in trigger? Like, are you picking samples from trigger?
They
or-
are Joey Sturgis.
Oh, okay.
It's called like drum shots.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. And then like hi-hat, literally the hi-hat has no plugins on it. Tom's has some plugins on it.
Yeah, because we did some. There's some tom. There's like a tom beat in this. Thing,
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
And like I probably, okay, like see how like this automation, I like the toms during fills, I want them loud, but then when in the verses you're like riding on the tom.
Yeah.
So like you can see I don't want.
Yeah, you do. This is the verse, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like I don't want too much room either because it can make it like, makes the toms really long and like messy.
Yeah.
So like, I'll just play it with the track. I want that tom tighter and smaller so it's not like just eating up all the bottom. Yeah, rooms has not even compression. Like you'd think, you gotta compress the crap out of the rooms. It sounds awesome, but like I'm kind of doing no compression on the rooms. And that's because I like punchy drums, like Zach Cervini's. Like once you start compressing things, you're just like taking away the punch.
Yeah.
Really. Trash mic, nothing on it. And then this is like the parallel compression track with nothing on it. Trash. Room. Overhead. Snare verb, nothing on it.
Yeah, the drums just sound huge.
Yeah. Pretty basic.
Cool. Let's go back to the intro and let's talk about the guitars. What did you do for guitars? This is like what I wanted to kind of like deep dive, especially the people who's watching my channel.
Okay, so this is my guitar bus here.
So basically, I can't remember what I did, but I had a rhythm guitar track, right? Where we're just playing chords.
Yeah.
And then obviously the main lead line is like the dotted eighth delay, which
Very like edgy. Like
I literally stole it from the Edge. I actually have a video of how I did that. I'll post it right here. But let's go over the guitars here.
Okay, so like for some clients, I would never like record a bunch of extra guitars because I don't know, they might not want that. With you, I knew that we could I could go crazy because we're friends. And you're not gonna be what is this?
You're shit at guitar.
No. And this is
I'm glad.
Okay, but here's the thing. I'm not replacing guitars, and I'm not, because I don't.
Yeah, you just enhance what I did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Because when I listen to it, I'm like, okay, this is dope. And this was my gut instinct. Once I heard that vocal hook and it's screamy and broken, raspy.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, these guitars are kind of pretty.
Jangly, yes.
Yeah, they're pretty jangly.
Yeah.
Let's get a little bit more power chords just to enhance that root note too.
Yeah.
And that's so critical. You could follow, a simple ear can follow the root notes when you have that just distortion power chord. Cool. So what I do, see all the red tracks?
Yep.
The red tracks are mine. So I did all these.
I see.
And I color code them red so that if you're dude, what the heck is all this crap? I can just go like this.
Why don't we do, can you just play, let's play mine,
yeah.
just the guitars, the rhythm and the lead line.
Yeah.
And then we'll compare it to what you did. So this is just me. So basically, for what I was doing is I played the Strat for, I think, most of it, definitely the lead, and I ran it through the Vox AC15 and then with a dotted eighth delay. Yeah. And I did the Strat for both the lead and the rhythm guitar. And for the chords, the rhythm guitar, I added an overdrive pedal to drive the Vox AC15, but I was going for that Vox sound. So, yeah.
And there's lots of open ringy stuff, which is dope. It's so great in pop. It reminds me of almost the Starting Line too, which is I don't know if you and they did that great. But I'm okay, let's enhance the root note and just the simple power chords.
Let's see what you did here. Yeah, you just played bar chords.
Yeah. Power chords. Yeah. Oh no, that's not actually power chord. But
what amps, Sims, or what did you use for guitar sounds here?
STL Tone Hub.
Okay.
So these are
I'm not familiar with these guys.
Yeah, these are Kemper profiles.
Okay, cool. What style amp is this? Is it a Marshall kind of thing, or?
SLO. This is literally
it's
a high wall,
Soldano.
Right? Soldano, right?
Soldano. Okay, yeah.
Okay, so this is what it opens as. This is preset one. You open it up and that's it.
Yeah, and that's all you used.
And then this one I probably have a different tone. I like to use two different. Okay, sure. This is out of the John Feldman pop punk pack.
Sick. What has he got here? I don't know what he uses.
Yeah, you can't see what he's using. I don't think. So this is I'll just play them. Yeah. So this is the Soldano one.
Yeah.
And this is the Feldman one.
Love it. Sounds huge.
And then at the end, I did I added one more little baritone thing, just to
a baritone guitar.
Oh.
Uh-oh. Oh, that is dirty.
It's terrible.
What is that? Is that a regular guitar, and then you have a baritone app on there?
That is potentially a baritone.
Yeah.
Or it might be a tuned down guitar.
I see. Okay, yeah.
Let me look.
Yeah,
it's tuned down. So you see how I transpose it down an octave? I called it baritone, but it's just a tuned down.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
I probably played a single note.
Yeah.
And then tuned it down.
Yeah, I see. See what Al's doing, and this is how you get huge rhythm guitars in a recording. Is basically you record one guitar, pan it hard left, and then you record another guitar, hopefully with another guitar, another amp, pan that hard right, and then basically that creates this massive guitar sound, right?
Yeah. And can I show just okay, here's your heavy stuff. I think was it this, and
that. Yeah. Okay, so I did have 4 rhythms. That's the jangly open chords.
Okay, so that's not heavy.
These are my heavier ones, yeah. But I was still playing the open chords.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so there's lots of extra ring.
Yeah.
So again, I'm not replacing that because I like that open stuff, but just adding the simple power chords underneath.
What? And then can we hear your lead line? That's
my lead. I didn't do.
You used my own lead line.
Yeah,
Okay, yeah. Let's listen to the lead line. I think I have 2. Yeah, dotted eighth, straight from the edge, where the streets have no name, basically.
Great, it's great. Okay, this is the processing on it. So this actually, a lot of the guitars I probably barely process. So this is what I did on your distortion guitars.
Okay.
Nothing
So, so my guitars made the mix as well, and then you just added the barcode stuff.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay, cool.
This okay. Here's muting mine.
Yeah. I see what you did. Okay, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, to me, when I hear this, okay, I always think back to the hook, the screamy vocal, the like bleeding throat, like push that he's got, and how like dirty that is. And then I hear this. Those guitars sound to me like kind of corporate.
Too clean?
Like it sounds like a corporate like type.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is like it's just kind of like pretty.
Yeah, it's too clean.
Yeah, it's nice though. It's like works great.
I was in my Vox AC30 era when I was writing this song.
Heck yeah. Okay, here's the thing though. I could have like distorted your guitars more.
Yeah, yeah.
And like made them have a little
That's
more.
That's what I
like,
thought you did actually.
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
That's what I wanted you to. Like I don't want you to hear what I've done. Like that. Oh, he added a bunch of guitars. Yeah. But like I find you can get a better result by just like quickly tracking easy stuff like that instead of like
more natural what you did too, right?
But like okay, I'll show you like okay, this is your guitar, your distorted guitar. All it is like a tiny bit of EQ on it.
Yeah. Same moves as I usually do, cut the low end, right?
Yeah. So this one I would have felt like there might have been like a little ringing.
What's that? What frequency is that? Like 20, oh yeah, 2600. Oh, okay. How do you find those whistling sounds? Do you just sweep it?
I would have been like, I very rarely listen in solo. I'll be just like listening to like, I probably was listening like this.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, there's that one ringing thing. I'll just like pull it out. But like, it's also ringing extra because I've got it boosted in that area too, right?
But for people who want to like find like that frequency, like what's your step then?
I wouldn't go too nuts like soloing and like removing all this stuff because like,
you can go in a rabbit hole.
I just said I like want teeth. I want like hype and like I want to like jump out of the speaker. So like some like.
But you heard that whistling in your like you heard it and then you just kind of found it. Okay. Or you probably have mixed enough records that you know.
Yeah. I would have just
maybe where it's at, right?
Yeah. And I would have gone like this. I would have heard it and been like, oh, there's something ringy right around there.
Yeah. Yeah, and then you just sweep it and you find it.
And I'm not like. I'm not doing this with it. I'm not like pulling it all the way out because that's like kind of unnatural. Like, and again, I want some teeth to it. Like, let's give it a little whistle.
Cool.
Let's hurt people's ears a bit. This is a Strat.
I didn't realize I had so many guitar tracks on here. Okay.
Yeah, I know. It's fun going back. Sometimes it's like fun going back to like a track you did like a year
Dude,
ago.
I wrote this song like 10 years ago, right?
Yeah. Okay, so this is your lead. So I got quite a bit of junk on there.
Yeah.
So that's what
this
it sounded
is nothing.
Like.
Okay. Oh, you crushed it a little bit.
Yeah. So I got some OTT on it. I'll just like.
That's the same plugin for the drums, right? That you use it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It really exaggerates the transient. It brings up the upper mid range.
Yeah.
And it also just like compresses the crap out of it. So I'm like I never really use it that high. I'm kind of shocked that I did. But like I'll play it with and without.
I see, yeah, you're right.
Just trying to get that transient.
It just brings it out a little bit better, right? Yeah.
And then I'm pulling out one little frequency, nothing right home about. And I got RC20 on there, I don't know.
What's that?
So this is like a lo-fi type plugin.
Okay. Is that what's giving it like that? Oh yeah, the dirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of sounds like crap, but I'm probably rolling some of the top off after.
Yeah.
Because it adds a lot, maybe not.
It sounds, not the greatest soloed, but I think in the context of the mix,
100%.
It cuts through a little bit better, right?
100%.
Yeah.
I remember going into studios. I worked with like Garth Richardson on some stuff, and I remember like when you would solo like the bass, I was like, what the heck? That is the dirtiest thing I've ever heard in my life. Like the amount of distortion that's in rock is like, and the vocals too, like, it was just crazy the amount of distortion. So like, that's.
So I have two of the exact same lead line. Like I played it differently of different performances. Now, did you just do the exact same plugins for each?
Looks like it, yeah. So like, oh man, okay, here we go. So this is like it.
No plugins. Yeah.
And again, like I understand that top grittiness is kind of like,
Yeah.
but then like it just gives it some teeth.
It does.
And it like lets it compete with the like this crashing cymbals. It just puts some crap up there. I don't know.
I love it, man. It sounds fantastic. Let's go through the bass now. Like just like for the intro, because like that was one of the differences between my mix and like when I heard yours for the first time. It's like, oh shit, like that bottom end is like, it's kicking. So can we just go through what your process is, or like what your bass tracks sound like? What do you usually do? Now you track bass because I'm an awful bass player, obviously, and you play bass. So let's see what you did.
Okay, so I played the bass. I played a Fender Jazz.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I try when I play bass, especially in like pop punk songs like this that are like centered around like vocals, like you want people to sing along to the song. I'm like just trying to hold down the root and just fill holes with the bass, and just like I'm not trying to be too fancy, that's for sure.
So you have 2 bass tracks here. What do you usually do here?
So, okay, so there was obviously spots where I felt like my bass was a little out of tune.
Yeah.
So you can see it's a bass instrument. The song's in D major, and I'm just tuning it just to kiss.
Yeah.
Like just to like.
Just get it in a pocket a little
Yeah,
bit.
and if my intonation is a little wonky.
Yeah.
Because I think I probably played like 1 or 2 takes, so I'm not like. Yeah.
You're not spending
punching every
hours
note.
or days on it, right?
And again, I probably did it, and it was like, oh, is that a tiny bit out of tune? It might be a tiny bit out of tune. Let me just put the auto tune on there and see. And then I was probably like, I could replay it, or like it sounds good right now. Let's move on and like like keep.
I love it. That's the way I work too. Just fucking go on.
Yeah. R bass. That's a ton of R bass. I don't usually do that much R bass. This is actually a free plugin.
Oh, that's it's supposed to be the Sansamp?
Yeah. I don't use that one anymore. I now have the Arturia one that I use.
Okay.
But this is a vibe.
What are you adding there? Like some just drive?
I don't even know if that's on.
Can we just do you track? Oh yeah, your bass sounds fantastic.
Oh, there it is.
Do you when you record, you go straight DI into your interface and then you add all this stuff after?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So the tuner, then R bass. So like this is, let me just actually, I have one other little thing that might screw this up. So that's what that sounds like.
Yeah, that sounds dope. That's without? Yeah, it does a thing, hey?
Yeah, it does a thing.
Yeah.
Then I'm EQing, got a couple EQs, they're both, I'm rolling off a lot of top. Soothe, this is a dope plugin.
Yeah, you were telling me about this one, okay.
Yeah, it just like picks out like some, if there's like nasty frequencies that like, oh, when I'm play the D on, like there's like this ear piercing thing, you can like just knock that one frequency out. Then I'm limiting, you can see how much that's limiting, like 1 dB at the most.
Just kissing it.
Yeah, and that's again, because bass takes up so much headroom that if you want your track to be loud at the end, it's good to like limit a little bit, 1 dB here, then 1 dB on the bass bus, then kind of like.
What are you doing for EQ moves? Like you have several EQ plugins on this channel, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of that'll be like, okay, so like this last EQ that's after my limiter, that's probably like, that wasn't there. And then I listened to it a bit in my car and stuff, and I was like, oh, there's like a little bit too much down there, and there's like a little too much over here. So I'll just like put a plugin on, and then I'll like make a new mix. And if I know I don't, okay, yeah, the bass was better before, I can just like mute it and get rid of it. I don't know what I'm doing. And then okay, so then I'll like.
So that track that we just looked at, what is this? This is your amp track? Oh no,
It's DI, but I would call this like
your amp.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can see I got like quite a bit of automation on the bass too. So it like comes down in the verse. You see that's probably chorus. It comes back up, and then near the end that's probably bridge where it comes way down, and then so like this is probably like a hole in the vocal where I did a little bass lick and I like just turned it up a little bit, and then there's probably another one there, like.
Yeah, dude, that sounds great.
Like that's nothing, but. And then I'll often like, oh, we're screen recording, that's why it's kind of like.
That's all good.
This, and then I'll have a distortion track alongside of it.
So you take that exact same track
Yeah.
and then you double it and then you add all this distortion stuff on top, right?
Yeah. So it's probably just like a rat. Oh no, I'm running it through STL Tone Hub actually. I'm running through a guitar amp.
Okay, cool. Let's see what you're rocking here.
Soldano.
Soldano, you love the Soldano, eh?
No, it's literally factory preset 1, dude.
So sick.
Yeah.
There you go, guys. Just get that plug in.
And then like, look what
What is this? Oh,
I
shit.
know.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
So
I'm only taking that frequency from the bass.
Yeah, I
Just
see.
because if you get like that low stuff, you
Yeah.
can possibly have phase issues. So
plus
like,
you already have that in the other bass track, right?
yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm just trying to like supplement it. So
Cool.
like together they are like this.
Yeah, let's play it together.
So if you crank that one up, that's what I'm getting from that.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool, dude, man. I love it, man.
And then it goes into the bass bus, and I got a bunch more. Like that's stupid amount of stuff I have on there, but.
Can we talk about the CLA bass like plugin? I love this plugin, man.
Yeah, it's great. It's just like pretty much factory decent.
It just adds a vibe, right? Dude, I think that's what I do. Like
Yeah.
you saw my mix when I sent it to you, like the session.
Okay, well shoot, that might have been your move.
I probably had that, right?
Yeah, that's probably your move, and I was just like, oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So like
I use this plugin a lot.
that's great.
Yeah. I add it, I use it more for the distortion of the bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool.
And what else are you doing on the
Then
bus?
I'm EQing a bit more top off because I'm like distorting it so much that like I don't want. There's certain things I want the top of distortion of, but like I don't think bass. I don't need to like crank 10K on out of the bass. It also kind of like feels unnatural. Like an amp wouldn't produce 12K or 10K.
Yeah, not a bass amp, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like guitar amps and bass amps rarely go. I mean, I might get crucified for this too, but like I don't hear much other than hiss above like 9K or 10K. Like,
so you're rolling off, what is that, 6K-ish, 68, 7K?
yeah. And then I got some more compression. Not doing.
What are you doing with this?
Pretty much nothing. Just looking for more control. Just kissing it.
Yeah. Just so like there's evenness in the tone?
Yeah. Like that's when I want bass, I just want like a solid.
Yeah.
By time, if you like printed that bass track, it would probably just look like a sausage.
Because bass is weird, right? When you don't add the compression, especially when you like play like low notes, it has more energy, and then when you play higher notes, like it has like a dip, right? So you need that compression to like even it out, right?
Yeah.
Took me a long time to learn that about bass. And then do you do anything, this is like my ultimate question about, this is my ultimate question with all mix engineers. What do you do about muddiness?
Muddiness?
Like yours was not muddy at all. Yeah. Like you're not rolling off like any low end or anything like that, right?
Well, I mean, there are some like crazy EQ moves there.
Okay.
But
in terms of like the bass, like how do you prevent it from getting muddy?
Scoop out those frequencies.
Yeah.
Scoop out like muddiness to me would be like 200 to 500.
Would you EQ that out in the bass?
If it needs it, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. But sometimes when you like use that SansAmp plugin and like crank it, or like the CLA bass has a real sound to it, those plugins are already doing it.
Okay.
They know that's what you love.
Yeah.
Everyone loves like that scooped sound.
Yeah.
So it's like the plugins are naturally doing it, so you sometimes don't have to do it yourself after. That's what I find anyways.
Cool.
Okay, this is one other kind of thing that, you see how it's near the end of the chain? I would do this later. Yeah. Okay. So I knew, again, the vocal, super hyped and dirty and
Sorry, what's
aggressive.
this what's this plugin? This is a multiband?
This is I'm using it as a side chain.
Okay.
I'm using it as a side chain compressor. So when the kick hits, the bass ducks.
Okay.
And you could do that so that, because the bass takes up so much room, headroom. So if you have the bass and the kick hitting together, all of a sudden for that moment, there's like, whoa, there's a ton of bass.
Like a spike or energy?
So what happens is the kick drum comes in and the bass ducks a little bit so that, and then comes right back up.
Yeah.
And that's called sidechain compression.
Is that do you do that for the whole song?
Yeah, I did.
Can we hear just the bass or like just the drums and the bass for the intro?
Yeah.
See what that's doing? And then you can just like see, like talk to us like what it's doing.
So you can literally see it. So that's the kick. So the bass is ducking like 10 dBs when the kick hits, ish, or 8 or something. So like on its own, you'll hear it. You'll hear it like. I got the release as fast as it can go, and the attack as fast as it can go. So the kick comes in, and the bass ducks, and then it comes right back up.
Right back, yeah. Super fast.
You can't hear this, but like if you want, that's actually like an EDM technique.
Yeah.
You know, in like
when it's like pulsing, right? Yeah.
Right. So like if the bass just went doom, and with the kick it would be like just distorting everything.
Yeah.
So.
That's cool, man.
Yeah, you can do this in other ways too. You can use like soothe to do it, so it only ducks the bottom end.
Yeah.
That's like a move. You can use this to even do the same thing, but like I just put it on there and I'm like, okay, that's actually pretty dope.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that sounds sick.
That's bass. And then another thing that I like did, like when I was listening to your, like this. Okay, when I'm like, I want more movement, you basically went like on the bass, and then the verse repeated, and then you went, like play the progression again. The bass is like an instrument where you could do like the first progression, I'm like,
right.
I like played it up and on octave.
Yeah.
And then the second time through the verse, the second progression, I played it lower.
Yeah.
And that's just to make you feel like, oh, this is a little bit new.
Like something's happening.
Yeah, I should keep listening because like.
Can we listen to the first verse and then we'll break it down, like see like kind of like the roots of it. I love when his vocals kick in like that. It's so cool.
I know.
It was just so surreal to hear his voice on my song the first time I heard it. Yeah, he's great.
Yeah.
Cool. Let's go. Yeah. What do we do? Oh, let's
Can
go
I show
over this.
one other thing?
Yeah.
That I just like remembered here. So like, hang on, listen to like. Okay, like listen to that. And listen to this reference. Okay, so like sometimes when you're trying to keep things exciting, you want like little bursts of things.
Yeah.
To be like, oh. Okay, so like listen to your track, there's no top end at all. It's just like toms and bass and kick and snare. Okay, so like sometimes adding like this little, I added like, so you get this like little in the hole, but you just like that. Now there's a vocal hole, and that gives your ear like this little, ooh. So.
I didn't even catch that. Oh, I get it now.
It's just
play that again. Play my mix again. Right, I see. It's almost like an open hi-hat.
It's exactly what it is. So he's like.
Okay. Was that in the drum track or what?
Yeah, it's in the drum track.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Cool. I just put that in with MIDI.
I see.
But again, it's like one little thing that like keeps things moving and like keeps your ear being like, oh.
Cool. What did we do with synths? I can't even remember what I did. We had organs or something,
Yeah, you had
like some kind of pads or something.
Yeah, you did. You had this throughout, basically.
Yeah, just an organ. This is mine?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is just a stock Logic plugin.
Yeah, it does the trick.
I was just playing the chords.
Okay, so like the first thing I think is like, I don't need all the, I've got like bass guitar, tons of bass down there. So like you could literally see if you would go like this. Like all this down here, like in my opinion, that's like bass and drums are all down there. So I don't need that from the organ or want that from the organ. So I'm probably like rolling a bunch of that off. Then what am I doing? Then I'm distorting the crap out of it, trying to get like life out of it. The other thing I like about an organ is like it's wide, right? So it's like a rotary speaker. So it's like, so I'm like, okay, well I can get width from it, but like you need to be able to hear the width. So like you can distort it. Like listen to this. It really brings out the width.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I'm probably rolling some of that off at the end. But it like, I don't know, that like top end distortion,
Yeah.
it's almost like a guitar kind of, you know what I mean? And then I'm doing a trem. So it's going back and forth, extra
cool,
panning.
man. Yeah, love
So this
that.
is like, it's essentially doing that.
Yeah.
I can't remember where it was, somewhere like that. And then, yeah, that's it.
Sick, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, very simple.
Yeah.
I just wanted like that. Yeah, it's like literally, man. Like this is like U2, right? I just wanted like that.
Yeah.
You know, Joshua Tree vibe to it, especially with like that lead guitar. So that's kind of like all I did with that. That's cool.
Yeah, an organ is like a nice instrument to like fill out those lower mids.
Yeah.
So like I would think in my mind, okay, I've got bass that's like the bottom, guitars that are like very mid-rangey, and this can like fill that muddy low mids, and I can like have the, how much mud? I need more mud. Well, I could turn up the organ because that's kind of living in that spot. You know what I mean?
Cool.
I don't know. That might be
No,
bad
dude,
advice.
I love it.
Okay, so then again, red stuff is all stuff that I did.
Yeah. This is all ear candy, right?
Yeah, yeah. It's probably,
Which is like, ear candy is like, basically you feel it more than you hear it, right?
yeah, exactly.
Where's this? Is this going into the
yeah.
second half?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going into the second half of the verse. I'll just kill that organ because it's coming in right here.
Nice. It just kind of like builds into, like crescendos into the second half, right? Yeah.
And also like you can use it to like kind of like introduce the chorus. So it's like comes up into the chorus.
Yeah.
Then it goes away.
Yeah,
Because if it was like doing that the whole time, then it's kind of like,
Yeah, it doesn't have the same effect.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then I have it coming in here. Same thing.
Cool. Yeah, it's just so subtle. It just adds, I don't know, it adds a thing, right? It kind of
it's like
almost builds
ethereal.
suspense.
Yeah.
And then like, it's like, you know something's coming.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's like
and
foreshadowing.
There was like, back when I was doing a lot of pop music, think about like Katy Perry, Teenage Dream type eras, there was like all these lasers. So like into every chorus, they would go like,
Yeah. Yeah.
and that was like your signal, like, hey, chorus is here.
Something's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I have, it's just a sample, but I think the intro is just like a reverse swell. Is it like a cymbal or something?
Yeah.
What do we have?
Yeah.
Something like that, right? Yeah.
You had this reverse snare.
See that? Yeah, that's just a sample.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
And then let's talk about the vocals. Like AJ.
Okay, sorry, can I go through
Yeah,
one,
sorry,
one
go.
other, no, the other little thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, you're talking about the, what, I didn't know what it was, right? I think I know what this is. Okay, let's see
Okay,
this.
okay, this was your piano.
Yeah.
I was looking at this session last night, and
Where did I have piano? I don't even remember.
yeah, you did.
Okay.
You did that.
Oh, in the bridge.
That's
I see.
great.
Okay.
That's
Yeah. Did that make it in the mix?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is just I use just the Logic stock piano. What did you use for this?
Okay, here's my complaint about that.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at like a quiet, emotional part of the song.
Yeah.
And the piano is going like this. It's like if you're playing it, you're going like this. Ding.
Right.
Ding. If you were doing the equivalent on the guitar, you would be like jing.
Yeah.
Jing. Whereas like a nice technique, if you were playing the guitar at a quiet emotion, you would like gently rake it.
Yeah.
So like a piano player would like rake the keys almost. So like I added, so this is what it was there.
These are mine?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then so this was mine.
Oh, sick, dude.
So you can hear it's like raking, right?
Ah, I see. How did you do that?
I just played
MIDI?
it. Yeah, I played it and then I probably went in and just made sure it
Just
was like
just
raking
off
the right
just
way.
a little bit? Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's hear that again. That sounds cool, dude. I love that, man.
Yeah.
Can we just add the vocal in there? Check this. This is in the bridge.
The heart will change,
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
but no be there for you. With my arms out,
Dude, That's rad, man.
Yeah, that's a nice thing. And it's like also the note selection that I'm doing too. I'm like have like, I don't even know what they're called, but like some of the notes rub, but they rub in like a nice way.
Yeah.
So they
Like dissonant?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's like
But they go.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And it sounds like pretty. I added a choir too because I felt like, I'm like, this sounds like you're at church.
Dude, I didn't even get this.
And hear how they come up?
Yeah. I love that, dude.
Yeah.
Very cinematic.
Yeah. Yeah, it's cool. And then I got the feedback in there, which is obviously like...
Is that guitar feedback? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
My time's out, so my time's so never guess how the day.
We should release just an acoustic version of this, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good little
So
spot.
sick.
And then this is like... Again, this is like what I grew up doing.
Yeah.
Is like people would like send me tracks, like pop punk songs, and they'd be like, add programming.
Yeah.
Or, like we don't know what or how. So I would add stuff like this,
Yeah,
where it's like
yeah.
little keyboards and like
Yeah.
this is like...
Sick, dude.
And then it's probably like, again, we want lots of movement, so I'm probably like rolling it in.
Dude, we should have turned this up in the mix.
So here's letting top in.
Cool, dude. Dude, why did we turn that up?
It's that to me is like very like angels and airwaves.
Dude, I love it, man.
Yeah,
Well, this
yeah.
whole song, I mean, like, yeah.
And that's just a serum like sine wave
Yeah.
with an ARP on it. Nothing to write home about.
So
and then
sick.
The end is, oh yeah, then the end I added just one
Let's
more.
go. Let's talk about the end at the
Okay.
end. I want to talk about, like, can
Okay.
we talk about, like, go
Yeah.
back to the first verse. Let's talk about the vocals, actually.
Okay.
Like when he, like, so him and AJ and I collaborated, and then he sent me all the vocals. I think he had them tuned, and he did some EQing, right?
Yeah.
Did you do much to the vocals?
No, because they were already, oh, I don't know.
He did a great job with them,
Yeah.
eh?
Yeah, they were
Can we just
already
play the
like,
vocals, like the verse there?
Yeah.
Waking up to you just like that, sunshine in my eyes.
And you had those throws there.
Yeah.
Gonna show you
Great.
the world under the kite of the moon.
The vocals were just perfect when he sent them to me.
Yeah.
right? Yeah.
Awesome.
It's how you are now. Watch those colors shining through. I've gotta tell you the truth. There's nothing brighter than you. You'll never guess how the day.
Yeah, it's great. So on these vocals.
Yeah, what are you doing for the
okay,
verse?
So when he sent them, they were all on one track.
Yeah.
So like this was like that, right? So it was all one
I
track.
believe so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, I like to, even if he did that or didn't,
Yeah.
I would break them out.
Yeah.
So I would have like a verse and then a chorus.
chorus track, yeah.
So that I could like process them a little bit differently. Because
Yeah.
usually like, oh, it's a nice idea to like bump something, make it a little bigger in the
Yeah,
chorus. You
yeah.
can do certain little things on the vocal to like make them bigger. This is what I did on these.
Waking up to you just like that, sunshine in
Compressing pretty
my
hard.
eyes.
Distorting,
Gonna show you the world
EQing, adding a little top.
under the kite of the
De-essing a
moon.
bit.
Said it's how you are now. Watch
Soothe
those
again.
Soothe a bit, and then I got, is this reverb might be automated where it like does a little bit at certain times.
Mm-hmm.
If not, that's like at like, I don't know what percent that, 11%.
What plugin is that?
That's called Little Plate
Oh,
by
okay.
Sound
Toys?
Toys.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Can we just see your
Waking
EQ
up
moves
to
again?
you just like
Okay, yeah. So roll
That's it.
off the bottom.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then what's that 1K? What are you cutting out there?
waking up to you just like that.
More whistling?
Sunshine in my eyes.
I don't know, I probably just heard that when I was doing it.
Gonna show you.
I don't, I wish I had like a better answer.
Yeah,
But I'll
yeah.
just be like listening. I'll be like, oh,
Something's
yeah,
not right there.
This just pokes out. I'm just gonna pull that, dip that a bit.
Yeah.
You can literally see, like, look at the waveform. There is obviously some kind of little spike there.
Yeah.
And I didn't like that one. I don't know. I wouldn't preach that because I don't really know. I don't know. I just didn't like it. Pulled it
Yeah.
down, move on. And then this is Little Plate, just like off and on.
Waking up to you just like that. Sunshine in my eyes. I'm gonna show you the world under the kite of the moon.
Just a little bit of space. It's as short as it can go.
Cool.
I don't know.
And then, did you do anything for those vocal throws? Not much, I guess.
Not much. Added a little bit more. Yeah. Oh no, so this is like 100% wet.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay, so this is a thing that you can do. Remember sidechain compression?
Yeah.
So when the lead vocal is singing,
yeah,
don't even think about it because compresses. When the lead vocal is singing, it turns down the throw. And then the lead vocal goes away and it comes up to fill the hole.
I see.
And then the lead vocal starts singing and then it ducks back down.
Yeah, yeah.
And it's a way just like not make too much mess.
Yeah. Can we hear just the vocal with the vocal throw?
Yeah.
You just like that sunshine in my eyes. I'm gonna show you the world under the kite of the moon.
Yeah.
See how that works?
Yeah, yeah.
Like just kind of like cleans it up a little bit. It's a small move, but like, yeah.
Very cool.
Let's
go. What about the chorus? We got like about 6 minutes, and I'll just change the SD card. But let's go over the chorus.
Okay, chorus vocal.
And he sent us a double.
Yeah, here's the double.
He's singing the exact same thing, right?
Yeah. Okay, I got the Haas effect on this. So this
What does that do?
So it takes one side.
Yeah.
So is his double an actual double?
I feel like he's singing the same thing. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think he was too.
Yeah.
So I think it's just like a double. So it's like the exact same thing.
The exact same performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so what I did is I made one speaker, it comes in the left side and then it comes in the right side later. Mm-hmm. So it just makes it feel wide. So I'll flick that on and off. So this is off.
You'll never guess how the days end.
Hear how that all of a sudden...
Yeah.
Gonna see how the stars burn through the night. You're gonna feel when it rains.
So now it's like he's got the lead and it's like front and center. It's pretty dry in your face. Yeah. And then these ones are like way on the outside of the speaker. So it feels like he like all of a sudden gets like...
Yeah, bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah. And the chorus like pumps. Like,
yeah. And then it's just blended in there.
Yeah. So let's go back to the first chorus. Now you have some vocal tracks that you did.
Yeah.
Which is what you did. Let's hear what you did here.
Okay, so on the first chorus, I literally just used his lead and his doubles. Mm-hmm. And then this is the second chorus is when I created.
Oh, okay.
So the first chorus is just a single chorus. The second chorus is a double chorus. And in an effort to just like keep things fresh and keep things moving, like it's nice to always like introduce things in the second half of a chorus in like a pop vocal driven.
So this is the second chorus?
Yeah.
Actually, before we do the second chorus, can we do the second verse? I think you have a thing that you did, like a reverse guitar.
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I just want to hear that real quick. So let's hear the second verse.
Oh no. Uh-oh. Sorry, everyone.
What's that right there? It's like
that's a guitar.
Okay. There was like a low.
Yeah, it's a delay pedal.
Yeah.
So it's like, I remember one of my favorite bands. Did you ever listen to Moneen?
No.
Okay, there's a band from I think Brampton, Ontario.
Yeah.
Called Moneen. And when I was a kid, they would like mess with delay pedals. And so, you know, when you like crank the feedback, so it's delaying for a long time, and then you adjust the time, it'll go like whoa, 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 like you can like make sounds. So that's what I did, and so it just ends up being this.
Oh, that's what it is. Okay. Cool.
And it's just like, I remember when I was a kid going into like HMV or like some kind of like music store, and remember like there'd be CD players on the walls. I would like put headphones on and I would press play and I would be like, I understand guitar and I can like play through a guitar amp. I understand what that sounds like. I can understand hitting drums.
Yeah.
But like there would be sounds in music that I didn't know. I'm like, how the heck did they do that?
Yeah.
And I still love that feeling.
Yeah.
So that's why I like adding stuff like that. That it's like someone will hear that and be like, oh, what is that?
I didn't know what it was. Like when I heard your mix, I'm like, what is that? Can you play that again? Just that part.
Let me like crank it way up for you.
Yeah. So you automated it, obviously, right?
Yeah, that's
Yeah, dude.
And you can hear, okay.
But you did it so subtly, like it was like, yeah.
And I think the reason why it's good is because it happens. So the second verse comes in, you've got his vocal, which is the only thing that really matters. You got his vocal. He sings,
Yeah.
now I'm here for you. And then there's a hole. And it's like, it starts moving in the hole.
Yeah.
So that you can like identify it and it like keeps hitting the scratch.
Days will come and go, but no, I'm here for you. You're gonna find
Cool, dude.
Right?
Now I noticed, so with this verse, like the first verse, I was doing like the single strums. You took that out in this first half, right?
I'm not sure.
I think you did. I don't remember
probably,
what you did.
maybe.
Yeah, but it was just like the bass, which I love.
Yeah.
I like that. I think we talked about that in one of our text
Okay, yeah, just
conversations. but
probably trying to make it smaller.
just make it, yeah.
Make it more dynamic.
Anyways, yeah. So that was the first half. That's a really cool ear candy, man. You do a lot of these. It's so cool.
Okay, and then here's the other like.
Gonna see the message.
This is the one.
Time will always be.
That's
so-
when I heard that in your mix, and I was like,
Yeah.
"Whoa, you added keyboards, dude! Like, what is that?
So that's your bridge guitar.
Yeah.
You had a bridge guitar.
The lead?
Yeah, it's this right here, delayed.
Okay. Like, can we play that the regular like bridge lead?
It's this, I think, but pitched probably and reversed.
Okay.
So I took that,
Yeah.
took that, and
then
then
you did-
created this with it.
Like basically like a keyboard. So cool, man.
Yeah, I wonder what it sounds like. Can I reverse it again? Let me just see if I can. Oh, it won't let me. Hang on. So let's see what that sounds like.
This is the right way. That's the reverse.
Well, it's just because I printed it with a bunch of
Yeah,
delays
yeah, I
crap
see
on
it.
it.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
that's essentially what it is forward.
Okay.
Like,
That's so cool, man.
Yeah.
Play both like that section, just like that those two ear candies there. So subtle, but it just like does a thing.
You're gonna find
That's so cool, man.
you're gonna see the message. Time will
That makes the verse for me, man.
yeah.
And it was almost like it sounded to me like some kind of like serpentine, like it's like climbing up into the second half.
Okay, so it's pitched up. You can see, like, when I highlight this, it's pitched up an octave.
Yeah.
And then it's got distortion on it, bit crushing on it,
Yeah.
EQ to roll off some of the top of the bit crush, and delay, and then EQ just to like make it fit in a hole. And then and then you can see, okay, here's my pan on it too.
Oh, that's what you did. That's why there was movement on it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So did that go from one speaker
Yeah.
to the other? Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
If we're recording in stereo, you can hear it go
I'm
back
not
and
sure.
forth.
Yeah, I'm not sure, but
Yeah.
listen to the recording on headphones, like the
Yeah.
single. I'll link it down in the descriptions below, by the way.
Okay, awesome.
That's cool.
Okay, one other thing that kind of makes that part, in my
Yeah.
opinion, is like, okay, so we've done a bunch of vocal throws to
Yeah.
fill holes.
Yeah.
But like I did this one extra vocal echo, and it's a shorter echo with a longer feedback. So it's like, if you listen to it,
Yeah, I didn't
so it's the one part.
I didn't even catch that.
Yeah,
Like,
so
can we hear it in the context of the mix?
see the message.
Oh yeah, it's so subtle though, dude.
Yeah.
Always lead.
Again, it's just like a new echo that you haven't heard. And
Yeah.
sometimes I get a little annoyed at vocal throws if it's like, see the message, see the
Yeah.
message. It's like, okay, dude, like, come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
So if you hear like, see the message,
Yeah.
it's like, I don't know, it's just like,
Yeah, dude. You know what? And you're talking about my vocal throws, which I just like literally taking the vocal and like doing a
Yeah,
quarter
those are
note
good
delay.
too.
But it's like I just don't know how to do any other ones.
okay,
man.
okay.
That's cool, man. We should put out a video on how to make ear candy, man. That's a whole video in its own.
Yeah.
man.
Okay, let me just quickly do this then. Okay, so if you put it in touch mode, then you're recording automation. So see this is automation.
Yeah.
It's usually in read. Put it in touch. Then you can do this.
Message.
So I'm recording that automation. Hear that?
Leading to you.
And then that's how I did like. Now listen to this. Wait, I might have screwed something up.
Message.
Sick.
Right?
Yeah.
Leading to your home.
So that's how you can make sounds like that.
Cool, dude.
Yeah.
I love that. And then did you do anything else with the vocals for this second verse? What's that red stuff down there? Harmony. Right before that, like this part right here.
Oh, sorry, this thing's gonna be going nuts here.
Yeah.
Let me just, because I had printed all that automation. Okay.
Yeah, what's that right there?
Okay, he sent no harmonies. So there's a way to produce harmonies. You could use Melodyne or you can use Logic Pro. If you, do you know how to use flex pitch?
Yes.
Okay, so you can use flex pitch and just literally like drag the notes up to like the harmony notes.
Like a third, a fifth, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I just like grew up singing harmonies in punk bands, so I like just use my ear to like, okay, but like when you do, it can sometimes sound like crap on its own. Yeah, oh yeah, it sounds like junk.
Yeah.
It can sound okay, but like when you have a singer that's like raspy, that like makes more artifact.
Yeah.
And he's like uber raspy.
Yeah, yeah.
So it like there's a lot, on its own it might be a little wonky, but like in the track it's nice, I think. Okay, so I actually used little altar boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is, so I didn't, remember the Melodyne and flex pitching? I didn't do that.
Okay.
I used this right
What's
here.
altar boy?
So altar boy is a Sound Toys plugin, and you can make it just keep one note. You can literally be like, take, they'll never guess how I da da, and make it this note. You'll never guess how they da da.
Yeah, yeah.
They'll never guess how they da. You can like just choose the pitch. I'll show you. So like, again, this isn't gonna be too flattering, but like.
I see, yeah.
Okay, so then I doubled that.
Is that octaves?
It's the harmony.
Okay.
So like what key was this song in? D?
D major?
Yeah.
So would that be like the fifth or?
Yeah, it's probably like an A and something else, maybe just a D and an
D
A just
and
held.
A would be a fifth, yeah.
Yeah, so they're probably just like held. So then, but again, in the track.
Yeah.
Time will always bleed into your heart.
Yeah, okay.
It's just in there subtly.
Just
like,
for that line too.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yeah.
Just the one line.
Yeah.
I don't know, just probably because I just felt like, oh, it's.
It needed something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, okay, so then I did the same thing in the chorus, except in the chorus, this one I'm not using altar boy, I'm making it move.
You never guess how the days end. You're gonna see how the stars burn through the night. You're gonna feel when it rains.
He's not the ideal singer for like generating harmonies because there's so much
distortion in his voice. Yeah.
and like raspiness. Like the computer isn't good. If you have like a very pure singer, you can make it like sound somewhat convincing.
Yeah.
Like it'd be better if he sang it, obviously, and he could have sang it, but like we didn't have it, so like whatever. So yeah, that's second chorus, double chorus at the half. It needs to lift and like.
You never guess how the days end.
Oh, especially because we have like the second chorus is longer as well, right? We have
it's a
like
double chorus.
We have
it's twice as long.
Yeah.
So like, I just really needs to move, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You never guess how the days end.
And then this.
Oh yeah. These are new actually.
Yeah.
I didn't have these for like a long time. I just heard these.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's, again, just like something new.
You never guess how the days. You never guess how the days. You're gonna see how the stars burn through the night. You're gonna feel when it rains. You have to give what you take. You have to give what you.
So this is probably a really long delay that holds, or maybe a bunch of reverb that holds over. Oh, sorry, dude.
Cool, man.
That's just kind of like a transition.
And you
effect.
just took his vocals and you just kind of played around with it.
Yeah.
Those harmonies, like harmony, are they the same notes? What are you doing?
So these are like exactly. These are the one notes.
Yeah.
You'll never guess how the days end.
Oh, I see. What is that called in like?
You'll never guess how the
Yeah,
days
yeah,
end.
yeah.
Just like pedal notes. It's almost like making like a vocoder essentially.
Yeah.
Again, they're like very artifacty. It's
Yeah.
not ideal, but
Yeah.
like. That's one thing. If you would have been like with him and singing it, you'd be like, "Hey, the
sing
second
it
chorus,
this way? Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Do you mind singing a
yeah,
harmony? Can we get?"
yeah.
Some? But like, you got what you got. Yeah, the vocals are great, dude. Like, I love
Yeah.
this guy's.
I love his voice, man. It's
Yeah,
so good.
and then there's the woes at the end, and that's pretty much. It.
Let's go over the bridge. So with the bridge, the original recording, he sent me the he sent me the demo and I sent it to you. It didn't have the whoa part at the end. And then the Danger Summer has put out a new record this past summer, and there's a song on there called Gravity. I fucking love that song. Anyways, on that recording, there's like the la 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 la, fuck it. Like my kids and I would sing that in the truck, and I wanted a part that was a sing along. And like we grew up in like the Warped Tour era, and like I just wanted a big sing along whoa. And it didn't, when AJ first sent me the vocals, it didn't have the outro. He just sent me like the verse, chorus, and that was it. And that was great. But I felt like the song was needing like that extra lift at the end, and I wanted to sing along. And so I emailed him back and I said, hey, is it possible to get some sort of whoa sing along at the very end? And then he had just released the Gravity record and he went on tour. So I didn't hear back from him for a couple months, and then he finally came back, and then he sent me the whoa-hos, and then we'll show you the tracks. There's like, I don't know, like 4 or 5 of them or whatever. Yeah. And then there was not much any processing. When he emailed me, he said, hey, I'm just gonna send these to you. I think he basically was like, please like kind of do the thing, tune them, like make sure they sound good, blah, blah, blah. I don't think he had as much time with them. And I think he didn't understand, or maybe he knew what I was going for, but I built the outro after the fact. So, and then I think there's like even like a key change, because like the whole song is in D major, and then that outro goes from G to like G flat or F sharp or something like that.
Yeah, like the stretch chord.
There's almost like a lift that happens.
Yeah, different chord progression. You add a chord, which is great. Yeah. Especially like
it broke it up.
Yeah. It like gives you something new at the end to like give people a reason to keep listening.
Yeah. And then so we went from like the second chorus, which is a double chorus, like Al was saying, which is like we just build and build and build, and then we have like the quiet bridge section. Can we just hear the quiet bridge section? Yeah. Because the whoa-hos start in there, right? And then it comes back with the outro. Let's see the bridge here.
You had to give what you take.
What was that? What's that instrument?
The delay?
There's some kind of like, there's kind of some kind of movement.
So that's in the effect. So that's like
is that a guitar or is that a synth?
That's just a sample.
Okay.
So if you go in here, it's this right here. Kind of lame, but like...
I don't think that's it, dude.
Oh.
Play it again. I mean, that's cool, but I feel like there's like a synth.
Okay, let me look.
Let me see. What's this?
It's the feedback guitar. These are all the
There's
synths.
some kind of movement.
It might be the vocal. Like, because I got a delay that...
That.
Oh, this.
Yeah, what's that? Oh, the ARP. Okay.
That's the ARP.
Was that already in the song?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. And it's right.
That was beautiful for that, man. That was perfect.
It comes in.
Yeah.
It's just like very Angels and Airwaves when I hear that. But it comes in, pretend this is like the top end. It's all rolled off. So you're just hearing the bottom of it. So it's just like the lower stuff. And then as it gets bigger, it like slowly opens up.
Yeah,
and,
let's
like,
play this again, man. This is so cool, man.
Oh, man. I'm screen recording, so it's a little bit janky.
MacBook's angry.
You have to give what you take. The heart will break.
I love this part, man.
Yeah, me too.
The heart will change. But no be there.
This is where we added the whoa-hos. These were like an added addition.
Okay, so this is, can I play what was there?
Yeah. What did we have?
You have to give what you take. The heart will break. The heart will change.
So I just had piano and guitar.
Yeah, so that's that guitar line that I reversed and put in the second verse.
There's the guitar line back in there? No.
In the final mix?
In the final mix.
Yeah, I think I have it in there.
Later on though, right? It didn't come in right away. Oh yeah, it comes in there.
That's your guitar. Yeah.
So not in the first half.
That's right.
Yeah, okay.
Okay, when I hear that,
Yeah.
okay, this my favorite. Okay, there's distortions that guys use: Decapitator, Fab Filter, Saturn, guitar amps, and all this crap. My favorite distortion is in Serum. So Serum is like a synthesizer effect, but they also, if you buy Serum, you also get this thing called Serum Effects, where all it is like the effects from Serum. So you can't like, it's not a synth, it's just, you can use
just
distortion.
like the effect,
yeah, you can use any of these. And it has this setting, diode too.
Yeah.
Oh dude, it's my favorite. That's without it.
Yeah, it's very clean.
And like, okay, to me, when I hear that, I'm like, think of AJ's voice. His voice almost sounds like it has diode 2 on it. You know what I mean? It has like that like upper grit to it.
Yeah. He sings so hard, man. I don't know how he does it, man.
I know, it's great.
For so long too.
Yeah.
Yeah, now let's go back. Let's go to that whoa part. Like this is when it starts to build. I just wanted to like crescendo from the second chorus down to like a quiet bridge and then build back up and then like have a massive.
Okay, can I say something about that guitar?
Yes.
The lead thing?
Yeah, coming back.
This is important. I can literally hear the guitar. So like, there's the automation. This is just volume.
Yeah.
So like, listen to the vocal, the thing that 99% of the population is listening to.
Cool.
That makes sense?
Yeah, yeah.
It's just like filling
very
the hole.
subtle. Can we go through the woes? What did you do for those bridge woes?
Probably very little. I don't think. Auto-tune and reverb. That's it. And that one has no auto-tune. That one, reverb.
Can we just solo those? This, okay, can we play my mix?
Yeah.
This is your move. I wanted to go back, but then you like went to like a quiet chorus. Like, can you play my mix? This, I love this move. And then play your mix. I love the quiet chorus better. It was almost like a like to me after I heard it, it's like, oh, because like it was a quiet bridge and then we built it up and then we took it down again and then we and then we killed it.
Yeah. You know, to me, when I hear that part,
it
reminds me of like when I was playing in like just junky bands when I was young,
Yeah.
and everyone's confused about like what they're playing, and it sounds like this is what it sounds like. It sounds like the drummer there is like, okay, we're going big. He like does a fill.
Yeah.
Oh shoot, that wasn't it. Okay. Oh, now here we come in.
Yeah.
Oh no, like
That's hilarious.
Listen to that.
Yeah, play that again.
Think about
Play that again.
It's like 1, 2, 3.
Yes.
Nope. Oh,
Yeah,
shoot.
yeah.
Here? No.
Oh, right here. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here we go.
I-
Okay.
That's hilarious.
Oh man, by this end I got everything flying.
And then let's go kick into that. Like, can we just kick into like I wanted this outro to be huge and a huge sing along.
Yeah. If the computer will let us.
We will. Cool. And yeah,
can I?
You want to talk about the outro?
About the mix stuff that I like think is important here.
Yeah.
It's like I like the idea of final chorus. You've heard the vocal melody, you've heard the woes in the bridge, you've heard the drum beat, you've heard all the guitars, like you've heard everything. Now it's like a time where you can like let everything fly, but like give everything a little moment. Like for example, when I'm listening to that, I can hear like this ARP. I probably must have some automation on that. Okay, so see how it like pops up?
Yeah.
In this final chorus, it has one spot where it comes up 2 dBs.
Yeah.
It's probably like...
Yeah.
Like I want people to have one moment where you're like, oh yeah, that ARP, that's pretty dope.
But you do it in such a subtle way. Like if you didn't point it out, I don't think I would have like picked it up.
Yeah, and then like this bass, there's a hole in the vocal.
Yeah, dude.
So just trying to like have, okay, here, I boosted a bit of vocal up, but there's probably lots of little moves like that in these tracks that are just like trying to poke things up.
That's so dope, dude.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good song.
Yeah, and then like I said, like I built the outro like after the fact, and I thought it just made the song because I think it's my favorite part. Like we just kick it in so hard, right? I just wanted it to kick in hard.
Yeah.
Be a sing along.
Yeah.
And then I finish on the G chord. I don't know much about music theory, but I feel like it was like an uplifting last chord. Like, can we play like, I don't know, I was super proud of like that last chord. There's a lift to it. I don't know.
Yeah, it's better than ending on the D.
Yeah.
Because that would be like a little cheese.
A little bit. So yeah, that's kind of like what I did.
Dude, I love that. That's good.
Yeah, dude, you did an awesome job. And like I hope you guys found a little bit of value in breaking it down. It's so cool to see what other mix engineers, especially pro ones that have, tons of songs that we're working on Spotify, to just see what they're doing. Because, like for a lot of us, like, I think it's to get to that pro level, you need to see what other people are doing, right? So
yeah, and I don't want to come across as like preachy because there's way better mixers than me, and I like watch YouTube tutorials still. I've like when I've worked with like A-level mixers, I've always been like I'll like ask some questions through email, or if like in LA I can usually try and like sit in with them if they'll let me. Yeah. And like I just think it's great. And then I'm like going nuts on my stereo bus, so people are probably, if people watch this video, they'll see in the corner, they're like, what the heck is he doing? Yeah, probably. It's like, oh my God, you have so many plugins. Okay, can I show this? Yeah, show it. This is a little bit psychotic, but it happened. Okay, so that's it with nothing on it. And obviously it's just like, there's a huge level discrepancy, but like, okay, so like this is sometimes a good plugin, Mix-Centric by Greg Wells. It's like a Waves plugin. If you need like upper mids and like, it felt like the track needed upper mids. It's not even compressing at all. That's what that does. Yeah. Oh, dude. Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna get that plugin. Again, but like I would warn you about this. Only use it if you need that sound. Yeah. Like if you don't need that upper mids and the scoop out of it, I wouldn't use it. This is like that old Pultec trick. I actually use the Logic EQ. I usually use UAD, but I use Logic. So this is like a trick that a lot of guys used to do. I mixed one time with Mark Needham, who did like the Killers Hot Fuss record, and he did like, back in that day, he was doing like Cobra Starship and Imagine Dragons, and he had hardware Pultecs, and he'd on basically every mix he would like put it to like 30 or 40 hertz and like boost and attenuate. You could search about this little trick all over the internet. There's like a million guys who do that. Then I'm EQing. I've got 2 EQs. So this is your mix bus? This is my mix bus. Yeah, okay. And so I'm like, I just felt like I needed more mid-range, I guess, and I felt like I needed a little more sub. Yeah, you're making like little moves with each of these, right? And like you would hardly tell, like. I don't know. And then OTT, you got to be careful with this, but I put that on there too. Small move. This is my favorite plugin for mastering if you need like some air. This shimmer knob, listen to me crank this, it all of a sudden adds like air to the top of the track. You got to be careful, obviously, because you like way overdo it. But like, listen to this. Oh yeah. So if your track needs that, that's a nice like plugin to reach for. And then I'm soothing after. This is what it's pulling out. It's just like controlling a little bit of top. I don't know. I was probably just goofing around with that. Okay, then. Okay, remember how I was talking about making things loud? Okay, so I've tried to limit individual tracks if they're super pokey, then like limit buses and like add saturation along the way. Then this is like my final thing to like make it loud. So then clipping and limiting is what like most mastering engineers will do to like the final 2 steps. This is standard clip, it's good. You can see how much it's knocking off down here.
Oh yeah.
Has this like distortion slider, saturator. Okay, so now you can see the white is what's actually coming through, what it's letting through. So it's chopping off some peaks, and then this is the final limiter. Now, once you hear your song on like Apple and stuff, it'll be like as loud as anything else out there. This is RMS. If you're at like -8, that's like a loud track. If you're like getting closer to 6, that's like 6 is like Skrillex slammed EDM.
Yeah.
And like I was shooting to be in the middle of that.
So we're like at that 8?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the final chorus is like a little bit above that. It's probably like closer to -7.
Oh yeah.
And that's the final limiter.
Cool, man. If you made it to the end of the video, you are a real one and you are a nerd just like us. This was a long video. We appreciate you, Al. Thanks for coming by into the studio.
Thanks for having me.
Where can people find you if they want to work with you?
You can find me on Instagram, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm not like I like do very little promotion. Most of the people that find me know me from the past, and that's it.
That's it, yeah. I will actually link Al's Instagram. I think it might be private in the descriptions below, but I'll link his email if you want to work with him.
Sure.
He's awesome, obviously, and yeah, does some great work. Go check out the song. It's available now on Spotify and streaming. I'll catch you in the next one.